Nandito na ang programang napapanahon, malalapitan at maaasahan. TV Natin Canada. TV Natin Canada, atin ito.
Hello to all our viewers, subscribers, and followers all over the world. Welcome to another edition of TV Natin Canada. Today we have a very special episode, and we are given privilege to interview a very special person, a very popular public figure here in Canada, because of the major innovations and changes that he has introduced to Canadian immigration policies. So, with us today, kasama po natin ang ating mga co-hosts, kasama natin sa ating programa, si Bro Cesar at si Sis Laila.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ating pong tunghayan ang aming segment po itong araw na ito at marami po tayong matutunan. Sis Laila?
Magandang araw sa lahat ng mga nanonood at tagapagtangkilik ng TV Natin Canada. Maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay at ngayon po itong episode na ito ay napakahalaga po dahil nagkaroon po tayo ng pagkakataon na ma-interview po ang Immigration Minister ng Canada na si Ahmed Hussein.
Yes. Before we continue, Bro Cesar and Sis Laila, and by the way, this is very important episode, napaka-importante ito dahil nadidiscuss natin doon ang mga issues ng mga caregiver, yung mga major controversial points in the interim pathway and the 2019 pilot program. But before we proceed to that interview, mga kaibigan, we would like to invite you once again. This coming August 24, August 24 po, Sabado po yan, dito sa Toronto, magkaroon po ng isang Filipino Workers and Caregivers Day. That is a very special event because that will be the first time na magkaroon pagtipon-tipon ng mga immigrant, mga manggagawang Pilipino kasama ang mga caregivers. Di ba, Sis Laila?
Oo, and then inaanyayahan ko po kayo, inuulit ko yung sinabi ni Bro Alan dito na talaga pong kailangan nating sumuporta po sa programang ito dahil ang ginagawa po ng TV Natin Canada ay ang patuloy na pagsuporta sa ating mga caregivers at isa nga po sa mga ginagawa namin ay ito pong upcoming na event na ito on August 24. Sabado po yon dito sa Toronto, 5 o'clock po ng hapon, ang kauna-unahan pong Filipino Workers and Caregivers Day.
Yeah, makikita nyo ang details niyan. Ang venue is do you remember
North
the
York,
venue? North York. And nasa advertisement po natin dito mamaya, makikita nyo yung poster, Bro Cesar. Yeah.
Marami pong mga surprise guest na aming inibitahan dito sa pagtitipon na ito. Kaya tunghayan po natin at iniimbitahan po ko po kayo na umattend sa event na po ito sa August 24. Hapon po naman po ito. Kaya po magkakaroon po tayo ng time sa
Alas 5 ng hapon.
Alas 5 ng hapon.
Alas 5 ng hapon.
Kaya sigurado naman baka atin po kayo niyan.
Yeah, marami na pong nag-signify na pupunta at doon sa pagtipon-tipon na yan, palalakasin natin yung ating mga overseas Filipino workers para magkaroon tayo ng lakas dito sa Canada at magkaroon tayo ng isang solid na pagtutulungan at maisulong natin at mai-protect din natin ang mga kapakanan ng ating mga OFW. So, this time, shall we proceed to the interview?
Sige, di panoorin natin.
Panoorin po natin, mga kaibigan.
Thank you. Good morning.
To be with us this morning is Laila and Julius. Sir, you rock the world by your very historic changes in the Canadian immigration policies, and you're becoming a rock star in the immigration
Well, honestly, it's as a
community.
result of the leadership of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who had a very strong vision for changing the immigration system when we came into office.
Okay.
And he promised Canadians that we have to do better. We inherited a broken immigration
Yeah.
system left by the Conservatives.
Exactly.
We had very long wait times.
Yeah.
We had huge backlogs, and families were being kept
Yes.
apart.
Yeah.
And the economic skilled immigration system could be improved for better. So Prime Minister promised all of those things, and he's the one who had the vision to move this forward. And I'm proud to be on his team to deliver that change.
Wonderful. The entire world today is hooked up to the IRCC website, and they are always looking for new updates, knowing that these new policies is opening the doors of Canada to the world. Now, at this time, has there been significant changes so far or development to the immigration
Oh, absolutely,
programs?
absolutely, of course. And I think one of the first things we did when we came into office, we said, look, we have to do better. So we focused first on improving the processing times, the
Okay.
waiting times.
The waiting time, yes.
So, very quickly, spouses, it was taking more than 2 years
Yes,
to be reunited,
yeah.
sometimes longer. We made sure across the board, it's now 12 months or less.
Yeah.
Citizenship used to take 24 months, we made it
Yeah.
12 months. We got rid of Bill C-24, which introduced two-tier citizenship.
Blue text, yeah.
So now a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. We removed the obstacles to become a Canadian that they put in place. We have made, like for example, caregivers. There were 64,000 caregivers who were in a backlog. And they were waiting to be reunited with their own
Their
family
families,
members
yeah.
for 7 years.
Yeah.
So we got rid of that. The backlog is
Yeah.
gone now.
No, it's gone.
And
yeah.
you know what the processing time is? 12
12
months.
months, yeah.
12 months.
That's
For the
maximum.
old program and the new pilots that are starting the fall, the processing time will be 6 months.
Wonderful.
From 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've really improved the system. Secondly, to make sure that that family separation for caregivers will not continue into the future, we are allowing caregivers for the first time to bring their spouses and their children. And the spouse will have an open work permit, the children will go to school. So the issue of family separation will no longer happen
Yeah.
because we listen to them.
Yeah.
I met with caregivers all across the country, and the things that they told us needed to be done, we've delivered them.
Yeah.
No LMIA,
No Lamia anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no employer-specific work permit. It is occupation-specific, so that it gives them some flexibility.
Sort of open permit
It's like an open work.
Well,
to
it's
a
to the
specific
occupation.
occupation.
And the third thing they asked for is they said, as a government, we need you to preserve access to permanent residency for caregivers. And I stood in front of them last year and in Parliament and in front of the media, and I promised, I said, our government, our Liberal government under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will always have caregivers have access to permanent residency, and we kept the promise.
So
So
this-
when you look at all the things we've said, it's very good news for
Yeah,
caregivers.
Yes.
And they're very happy.
It's
I
really
talked to them.
amazing.
That's true.
It's really amazing because it has revolutionized the entire system of
Correct.
immigration policies in Canada. So much so that it has reached the point of being really incredibly impressive, right? But now, caregivers are, we are engaged in advocating the plight of caregivers and foreign workers, immigrant, and
Yeah.
we received so many feedbacks and comments and questions.
Okay.
And now the new pilot program of 2019 is on the road for almost 3 months. And among the most popular areas that they want to be really clarified is the financial or financial requirement
Yeah.
or proof of funds. We
Correct.
received an advisory that nothing has changed from the previous program insofar as that aspect is concerned, but they want to be clarified as to
Sure.
whether they
Look.
will really need to show bank statements.
No,
and
no, no.
everything.
Look, at the end of the day, we've made the process much clearer. You see, in the past, people would come to Canada to work as caregivers with the expectation that they would become permanent residents,
Yes.
or at least have access to apply. And then they would be told, sorry, you don't have all the requirements. In this case, once we will do the analysis before you get to Canada. We will do the evaluation of whether you are eligible to work as a caregiver in Canada. We'll do it outside of Canada, so that once you come in and you're working as caregiver, you will have access to permanent residency.
Okay.
And part of that analysis also shows that once you have a job, you will be financially.
Okay.
You will have the financial means and the criteria. You will meet that criteria because once someone is working as a caregiver in Canada, they have the ability to support
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
financially. So that's all you need to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Which is something we expect from all visitors, including students who come and study here, they have to show that they can support themselves. Same thing with tourists.
Yeah.
But caregivers, the same thing. And we don't think that is a difficult, no, it's not a difficult thing to achieve,
Yes.
because it's obvious that if someone comes here and is working as a caregiver, they can support themselves because they will be paid a decent wage.
And plus, their husband and mature children
That too.
can also go to work.
That too,
and
but
that's all.
I mean, assuming they don't have a spouse
Yeah.
or they don't have any children, just by coming to Canada and working as a caregiver, they will have the financial ability to support themselves.
Exactly.
So it's not an issue.
Yeah,
not
so
an
it's
issue.
not. It's just a very minor concern.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when it comes to I know that the extension of the interim pathway
Yes.
will
Yes.
be until October.
Yes.
My question is, what would happen to a huge number who won't be able to be part of who won't be able to process during this particular time? And
The processing is not the issue. We have actually, we opened the interim pathway before,
yes,
and then because of feedback from the community, we extended it
extended,
again.
yes.
So we expect that all the people who are qualified under that program, we hope that they will apply with this very generous window. And the processing is not the issue. Once your application is in,
Yes.
as long as we're doing
Yeah.
the processing, you're fine.
Yes.
okay.
You have implied status.
Implied
Now-
status. Yes.
Now, in that case, those people who won't be able to avail and start the submission of these documents, and they are not eligible for the new program, what will happen to them because of the requirements of the education?
Well, look, my job is to make sure that our immigration system works for Canadians.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the ways that we do that is to make sure that immigrants coming to Canada have the minimal requirements
Requirement,
Yes.
to be able to
Exactly.
to function in the
Function.
In the
society.
society,
Yeah.
yes.
And the people who are applying through the interim pathway have had a long time
Long time.
to
Okay.
prepare
To prepare,
for
yeah.
that. So we expect, and we've made the criteria very facilitative
Yeah.
and reasonable.
Exactly.
And we've, as I said, we had a window, then we extended it.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
we've been very generous,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we,
I
I
understand
expect
that.
majority of the people who are in that limbo will be able to benefit from this interim pathway.
Okay.
Sir, at the outset, the caregiver program is just among the many programs that,
Sure.
that operates in parallel with each other towards the same
Correct.
objective, right?
Correct,
And you
yes.
recently announced that there is another pilot program that you will launch for eligible agri-food worker.
Yes.
And then it seems to be a very attractive program too.
Correct.
As of now, the people around the world are very eager to grab that opportunity under this
Absolutely.
program.
Absolutely.
So, what are the salient features
Yes,
of this
I'm
program?
glad you asked that question. Again, one of the things that is unique about our government is when it comes to immigration or any other policy, when you see our policies, when we announce things, it comes from consulting Canadians,
Engaging with
engaging
yeah,
them,
yeah.
hearing about what they need,
Yes, so
whether
your-
it is municipalities, provinces, or
Your
employers.
government is very responsive. to
Very
that, yeah.
responsive to, and the caregiver changes is an example of that.
yeah.
I met caregivers
Yeah.
last year, and they told me what they needed, and we delivered. So on the agricultural pilot program, it is to meet the needs of specific sectors within that agriculture and agri-food program. So non-seasonal agriculture and the meat industry,
Meat industry.
meat
yeah.
cutting as well as
yeah.
the butchers.
Butcher, meat
They're
cutter,
facing as high as 12% shortage of
Oh,
workers.
okay.
Okay.
And it's a very high number, especially for an industry that has the potential to grow. But this is an issue. So we met with them last year, myself and the Minister of Labor and Employment and Workforce Development. And they had a collective position, the employers, the unions, and the communities, where these meat industries and non-seasonal agriculture, like, the greenhouses,
Yeah, yeah.
and
The
the
greenhouses,
mushroom,
yeah.
mushrooms,
Yeah, mushroom,
and
yes.
so on. Those are non-seasonal agriculture and the meat industry. They said to us, we need help. We have a huge shortage of workers, yet we have this ambition of growing this sector. And Canada has more market access now for our agricultural
Export,
products.
yeah.
So we listened and we said, okay, one of the ways we can help them to do that is to transition more of the temporary foreign workers who are already here, who have been working in those industries,
Okay.
to transition them to PR,
Okay.
or to allow others to come from abroad. It doesn't matter. But it's about getting them towards
So there's a
permanent
pathway also.
pathway
for
to
that,
permanent residency, and it includes their families.
So it's similar to the
Similar.
caregivers. Yeah.
The other one that's very similar to this is also the rural and northern immigration pilot program. Have you heard of that?
Yeah,
one?
yeah, we heard
so
about
that
that,
one
yeah.
again, same thing. Rural and northern Canada contributes 28% to our GDP. Yet most newcomers go to the cities. So they said businesses there, employers, communities, they said we don't get enough workers, and our businesses are growing. We're experiencing the lowest unemployment rate in 40 years in Canada. So we need immigration. And so they said we need skilled workers, we need people. And the rural and northern immigration pilot program is a way to also encourage and put incentives for more newcomers to go to and settle and work in those areas, and to spread the benefits across the country.
The rural areas.
And so we selected 11 communities across Canada, and all rural and we're going to work with them on enabling them and the businesses there to get the workers that they need.
Yeah.
No LMIA,
Yeah.
no very fast processing, and permanent residency, and it also includes the families.
It's really wonderful because it's a win-win situation for the manufacturers and employers, because in the sense they will have that sense of security of
Correct.
having employees,
Yeah.
labor, and it also works benefit the immigrants and the labor force. So
It also helps. The rural program is based on the success that we have had in the 3-year-old Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program.
wow.
That's because that was the first program we put in place in Canadian history that is led by the employers.
And it will also decongest the metropolis from people congesting in the metropolis,
Sure.
and then they go on the rural areas because jobs are available there and there's
Of course,
sense of
there are. And
security. So-
some people like that
Yeah.
that different style of.
So,
living.
however, some of the caregivers, going back, noticed that in this program, which this is significantly similar with the pilot program, the caregivers in a way, they were just asking why the Canadian language benchmark in this agricultural sector is set into 4, whereas in the caregiver sector it's 5. So is there a
It's
reason for
based on the analysis done by our immigration officials, but also people who are in the industry who know, for example, how much language skills you need to function in the non-seasonal agriculture versus the caregiver industry. I think we have room for one more question.
Okay, so we have been flooded with so much questions here in TV Natin.
And my team is happy to follow up with the additional questions.
We have been entertaining so many complaints from applicants from all over the world, and the situation is like this. The Canada has been a hub or a sanctuary of scammers. The agencies that defrauded people into applying to a job, but ultimately ended up with nothing. So we contacted Canadian Border Security, and they said that it's not their mandate. We contacted the RCMP, and they said they're not an investigating body. We contacted the Toronto Police, and they said the victim must be here. So there is a black hole in the Canadian immigration enforcement system, where these scammers and unscrupulous agencies thrive. So they were thinking that if there is a complainant, for example, in Hong Kong or Taiwan, they were like thinking, is it possible for Canadian consulate there to have a table where they can go complain, and this will raise that issue to the authorities in Canada? And secondly, is there a possibility for this to have to be reviewed, where these agencies can collaborate each other's limitations of mandate?
The issue of unscrupulous immigration consultants, unauthorized immigration consultants, taking advantage of people is something that has been a priority for us, and we wanted to make sure that we get it right. Previous governments tried to fix this problem; they failed.
Yeah.
We are getting it right. So there's the introduction of legislation and a strategy in the budget of 2019 in February, where we will invest $52 million, more than $52 million on a strategy to combat unauthorized immigration consultants and the effects of that. It's a comprehensive strategy. Number one, we are doubling the criminal fines from 100,000 to 200,000 for anyone caught in Canada being an unauthorized immigration consultant. Because the unauthorized ones, they're also ruining the good image of the good immigration.
Exactly.
That's true. Exactly.
So we have to crack down on these people. So double the criminal fines. We are giving more money to CBSA
Okay.
and RCMP and IRCC to do more investigations
Okay.
and more enforcement. We are introducing something called the administrative monetary penalty, which is also $150,000 penalty in addition to the criminal penalty. We are starting a new college of immigration and citizenship consultants. That college, that body will have stronger oversight. We will have the majority of the board members will be public interest board members appointed by the government. For the first time, we will have a compensation fund for people who have lost money as a result of an unauthorized, as a result of being taken advantage of. We will have a better complaints process, a more robust disciplinary process. We will have liability insurance carried by the members of the new body, better licensing process, more education requirements, and as part of the $52 million strategy, we will send immigration officers to some of our busiest source countries to educate people before these things happen.
Yeah. Preemptive measures.
Instead of dealing with the complaints, it's better to actually stop things
Yes,
happening.
that's the whole point.
So we will also invest in that.
Yeah.
And we will have a list of banned people who cannot.
Well, just one last question. With the influx of, with these policies which opened Canada door wide open for so many immigrants to come in, are we prepared?
It's not. I want to change that perception.
Yeah.
We have a very gradual and responsible growth.
Responsible. Okay.
It's not just opening the door to
Okay,
everybody.
all right.
We have a very planned immigration system, and yes, there's growth, but it's very gradual.
Responsible, yeah,
And
yeah.
it comes from the feedback.
Okay.
Employers are telling us we need more workers. Provinces are saying we need more spaces in the provincial nominee program.
So are we prepared with the social infrastructures such as affordable housing, social services?
Our government, committed to spending $40 billion on a national housing strategy.
Oh, wow.
The first national housing strategy in decades.
Oh, wow.
And now that funding is going up to $55 billion.
wow.
So we're investing in infrastructure. We're investing $25 billion in transit. We're investing in building our highways and our bridges and our critical infrastructure. We're investing in making sure that communities have the services that they need. So, Canada,
it's
we
a
can,
holistic,
we can do both.
Yeah.
We can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, when you think about it, inviting more skilled people to come to Canada helps us fill jobs and helps our economy to grow, but it also helps us get people here who can create jobs. And if more people are employed, we will have more tax revenue to spend on much needed community services. So,
Wonderful.
that's the approach. We are different from the Conservatives. The Conservative approach is to cut. And you're seeing that in Ontario.
Yes.
When you talk to them about immigration, their approach is to engage in division and fear-mongering.
Okay.
The best way to fight that is through facts. So we're going to fight fear with facts. And the fact is, immigration has been, is, and will continue to be good for Canada. We need immigration. Immigration is a key economic difference maker in Canada being able to compete with other countries.
Yes.
Other countries.
We are the top source destination for talent in the world because of our immigration system.
Yeah.
And you know who follows the talent? Investors.
Investors.
If you talk to the investors and say, why are you investing in Canada? They'll say, because of your immigration system.
I remember 15 years ago, the Minister of Malaysia, Mahathir, he said that in the next 15 to 20 years, it will be Canada who will lead the world because of its immigration policies.
Absolutely.
Right? Its immigration policies is welcoming the skilled people outside the world,
Yeah.
use it in moving their economy,
Yeah.
and so
Everybody everybody wins.
Sorry to mention, the United States will be lagging behind because. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Minister.
Thank you so
for
much,
your
Mr.
time.
Minister.
Thank you
And,
so much.
good
Thank
luck.
you so much.
Salamat.
Napanood po natin ang ating interview kay Minister Hussein at marami po kami napag-usapan doon, although marami pa po kaming katanungan dahil nga lang po sa restriction
Nabitin.
sa ating
tapos sa
time.
oras. Oo.
Kinapos po sa oras
Yeah.
dahil medyo busy po ang ating minister,
Yeah.
nabitin po yung ibang katanungan natin.
Pero doon, napag-usapan natin, Bro Cesar, si Laila, yung mga hinaing ng mga caregiver na
Yes.
binigay sa atin. So, dinala natin yung mga hinaing nila and we make sure that yung mga request ng mga caregivers ng mga issues, maparating natin doon sa kay Minister. And one of it is the concerns of those who are applying for the 2019 pilot program. Yung sabi nila, paano na yung financial requirement, yung proof of what do you call that? Proof of financial capability. Alright?
Proof of fund, yes.
Proof of funds, yeah. So, doon nasabi, dahil doon sa conference nga ng kasi tayo stakeholders ng IRCC on building policies. So, nagkaroon ng kuan processor si Laila, I was participant of that teleconference. Tinanong yan at sabi ng mga taga-IRCC, there are a lot of factors that will be considered kung kaya mong mag-survive, ano? And one of the factor is that kung may asawa ka, makapagtrabaho din naman yan.
Yeah, kasi open work permit naman siya.
Yes,
Oo.
and then kung may mga anak na of age, makatrabaho din. So, you can survive.
Ang mahirap lang dito, siyempre, yung unang dating, dahil since nga na ang caregiver, sabihin natin, sa childcare is $14 lang ang sahod dito per hour. Eh kung dadali niya ang kanyang asawa, at saka yung halimbawa sabihin natin, isa o dalawang anak, it's kumbaga talaga mahirap pag-survive sa unang dating.
Yeah.
Pero siyempre, since na makakapaghanap buhay naman ng asawa dahil meron siyang open work permit, eventually is makakasurvive din naman.
Di ba sabi ni Hussein, and that was just consistent with what was being discussed in the teleconference meeting with the stakeholders na hindi nakafocus doon sa magkanong pera mo sa bangko. Kundi maraming mga factors like the cost of living in the province that you're living, right?
Yes.
And so, because of that, kita natin mga kapatid na sabi ni Hussein, that is not a big deal. Sabi niya, no, that's not a big deal. Di ba? Siya na mismo nagsabi na
Yes, that's
the fact that the caregiver arrived in Canada, that means that he's here, he's already working, and she is already earning.
Yeah.
He or she. Now, sabi ni Hussein, no, na hindi big deal yan. That's a non-issue when it comes to your application for PR, no? Or your application to come to Canada. So, wag na niyong problemahin yan, mga caregivers dyan, yung mga nag-a-apply ng 2019 Caregivers Pilot Program. Wag niyo masyadong intindihin yung financial proof of funds na yan. Okay?
Yes.
Now, next, ano pa yung pinag-isapan doon?
Regarding to sa language proficiency, di ba? Dun sa
Pathway, so
pathway
interim
na ito.
pathway, yes.
So, ang ginawa natin doon, nagtanong po tayo para hindi masyadong tawag nito halatang pinupush natin na babaan yung CELPIP sa IELTS.
Yes.
So what we did is we presented to him a comparative view on the program for the agricultural workers, yung bagong pilot program para sa mga agricultural workers na
With the provincial nominee program.
so pinagbigyan natin siyang i-discussion tapos at hinila natin siya sa discussion na kung bakit doon sa pilot program for the agricultural workers, parehong-pareho lang naman yung pattern, yung fundamental objectives of the pilot program for the farm workers and also the caregivers, halos pareho.
Yes.
At
Kasi under law skilled to pareho
yung sinabi mo na non-skilled or
Non-skilled, yeah.
So it's the same category, but sabi natin doon kay Hamid Hussein, Minister Hussein, na bakit may diferensya sa Canadian language benchmark. Ang sagot ni Hussein is that mayroon kasing nag-aaral. Mayroong experts nag-aaral dyan. So, hindi mismo galing kay Hussein, kung hindi, mayroong mga experts nag-aaral dyan. So, mga kapatid nating caregivers, huwag kayong mawalang pag-asa. Kung may experts na nag-aaral dyan, tayo naman, expert din sa pagtantingin kung bakit dapat babaan yan. And they have presented a hint that there should be similarity between the standards in the agricultural workers and the caregivers. Sabi nga, apple to apple, right?
Yes.
Kung apple doon, apple din dito. So to make it more fair and just to have a sense of justice in terms of the policies that the government will implement. So may pag-asa tayo. Kaya nga lang, kailangan nating magkaisa. Kailangan nating suportahan na i-push natin.
Magtulungan.
Magtulungan tayo.
Magkaroon
Kaya
tayo ng iisang boses.
Yes.
Para
Oo.
magkaroon tayo ng power na
Maisulong yung tungkol
maisulong
sa-
natin,
Yeah.
i-introduce natin kung ano yung talaga yung hinaing natin.
Mhm.
Kasi kung napapansin natin, although ito under na National Occupational Classification ng letter C, ito yung caregiver, and then ito yung farmers, is kung titignan natin, talagang under law skill talaga ito. Pero when it comes to pag-apply ng permanent residency, bakit nga mas mataas tong English proficiency ng caregiver? So ang paliwanag dito is simple lang, sabi ni Mr. Jose, merong depende ito sa klase ng trabaho kung saan sila gumagalaw.
Yes.
Yun ang pagkakasabi. Pero merong expert na tumitingin dito. I hope na pagka nagkaroon tayo ng iisang boses at magsama-sama tayo, baka may tendency na medyo mababaan din.
Yeah. So, ang ang gagawin natin diyan is to present a thesis, an explanation or an appeal which contains the arguments again that we will make to convince them that there is no much difference that would justify the difference in the benchmark.
Yes.
So yun ang punto na yun ang ating i-expound. Yun ang palakihin natin yung issue na yun para maintindihan ng mga kung sino mang expert na yan, makita nila kung bakit tama nga na i-reconsider nila na babaan yung sa mga caregivers ipantay doon sa agricultural workers. So in other words, mga kaibigan, Processor and Sis Laila, pareho din po sa ginawa natin nung pinaglaban natin itong interim pathway. Nagsimula yan sa mga experts din doon sa IRCC kung bakit tinaas nila yung educational qualification. But then, we presented an argument. Inargue natin. So, nung nakita nila yung argument natin valid and sound, binago nila, pinagbigyan nila. So, in other words, it doesn't mean that there are experts who framed those policies on the basis of what they see is viable. It doesn't mean that it ends on that. It ends there, no. It's now upon us to convince them that there's also a need for them to take a second look, no? So, kailangan magtulungan tayo. Kasi kami, we already have proven that if we really, push our arguments and we will, take a fight to convince them, there's a chance. So, mga caregivers dyan, tulungan nyo din po kami kasi itong laban na ito hindi naman para sa amin, no? Para to sa inyo.
Para po sa inyo.
Ang sa amin lang na pakita nyo yung support ninyo kasi ang makinabang nito kayo. So that is why nga ngayong August 24, ang venue po ay sa 580 French Avenue West. Ipa-flash yan mamaya sa ating ni-direct sa ating screen so that you can see the contact number kung saan kayo magpapa-reserve. Okay? August 24, mag-umpisa sa alas 5 ng hapon sa 580 French Avenue West, North York. August 24, 5 o'clock. So, suporta po kayo sa amin by going there. No? Isang araw lang yung sacrifice na yan. Hindi naman mabigat. Kami, araw-araw kami nagsasakripisyo. Sinasacrifice namin yung aming mga trabaho para po ipaglaban ang inyong mga hinaing. So, isang araw lang hiniling namin na pupunta kayo doon. Hindi lang naman yan problema pag-usapan natin. It's also a get-together so we can eat, we can dance, we can enjoy the fellowship of our co-caregivers and other overseas Filipino workers in Canada. So, yun ang nangyari sa benchmark, right? Kaya. So, ano pa yung napag-usapan natin doon,
So,
Bro Cesar?
sa August 24 po, huwag niyong kalimutan dahil kailangan po namin ang inyong suporta para matulungan namin kayo sa ating ipinaglalaban. Yun lang po ang kailangan
Invite
natin.
in-invite natin si Ami
Yes.
Duseng.
In-invite po natin.
As the guest speaker sa August 24, we handed over the invitation to Minister Ami Duseng to be our
Guest
guest
speaker.
speaker on that event. So, language, paglaban natin. Mahirap dahil nakagawa na po tayo ng petition yan, dininay nila.
Oo.
And then now, we found another chance dahil nga doon sa pilot program nila sa mga agriculture workers. So that is our
processing.
that is the thing that we will argue, no? Na bakit 4 doon,
For sa
5 dito.
kanila, yes.
Ikaw, Bro Cesar, di ba you went to the Philippines? Maraming nag-a-attract dyan.
Marami,
di ba?
marami talaga nagkaroon ng mga issue dito pagdating sa English proficiency. So, siguro naman na makapagbigyan din tayo dahil sa, although sinabi rin kanina ni Mr. Hussein na talagang katulad nga nung kailangan nila ng mga butcher, meat cutter, at food processing sa panahon na ito. That's the reason why nilaunch nila yung bagong pilot project kasama na rin mga agriculture. So, sa nakikita nilang yan, most likely kapag nagkaroon din tayo ng boses na magkaisa tayo, since na kailangan din nila ng caregiver, katulad din ito, kumbaga meron sariling pilot project ang caregiver, meron sariling pilot project ang mga food processing at saka mga farmers, most likely kung magkakaisa tayo na magbigay ng nakatalagang benchmark para diyan para sa mga language proficiency. So kung nabababaan nila do sa butcher at saka sa mga meat cutter at saka dito sa mga farmers, most likely baka kung meron tayong hinaing na magkaroon tayo ng isang boses,
Yun.
is baka matupad yung ating hinihiling sa Immigration Canada. Lalong-lalo na meron tayo talagang boses diyan at tayo isa rin na itinilaga na kanilang pwede mag-interview sa kanila privately. So I think meron tayong way para bigyan ng boses ang mga caregiver.
Okay,
So, kailangan lang po nating magtulungan. Yun lang po ang hinihiling namin sa inyo dahil hindi po namin ito magagawa kung kami lang mag-isa. Kung kami lang pong TV natin ang magsusulong ito, kailangan po natin na marinig din ang boses ninyo.
Yeah.
So, yun lang po ang hinihiling namin sa inyo. August 24 po, Filipino Workers Day and Caregivers Day.
At saka napag-usapan din doon yung issue ng pagtapos ng interim program kasi magtatapos siya by October, right?
October, yes.
So pagtapos ng October, mayroong iba na nababagsak nga doon sa IELTS at saka CELPIP, so nabibitin yung kanilang application until the time that the expiration will come or will arrive, and then by that time they're not yet complete with their IELTS and CELPIP examination, at yung iba hindi pa nakaka-complete ng 12 months work experience. So may maiiwan talaga. Kung gaano karami itong maiiwan, hindi natin alam, pero I have a strong feeling that there will be a huge number in the caregiver of caregivers na maiiwan. So tinanong natin siya, and ang sagot niya, medyo sabi niya parang pinagbigyan na. See? So,
They've been generous enough.
Generous enough. That was the
word.
exact terms. I mean, exact words that he said. But, mga kasamang caregiver, isa na naman yung bagay na kailangan naman natin ipaglaban. Ano? O hindi naman sa ipaglaban, kung hindi kailangan nating i-appeal. Na magpakaawa na naman tayo. No? So, kailangan talaga natin yung continuous support ng mga caregivers dito. Please lang, kasi nakikita natin very yung mga caregivers din, hindi din masyadong nila naintindihan kung bakit dapat sila ding tumulong at
yes.
sumuporta. So isa din yan yung language, yung expiration, yun ang mga areas na kailangan tayong magkaroon ng mga panibagong pag-aapila, pagmamakaawa.
Totoo yan.
Ano pa yung napag-usapan doon, yung itong bagong pilot program, yung mga employer, in order to get an employer job offer, no, napakadali po, mga kaibigan. Ang gagawin lang ng mga employer is to click in the website at i-click nila yung job offer, mape-print out na nila yung application for job offer, and then pwede na nila papil-upan ng isang kakuntsabo na employer para lang ibenta, magkapera. So, ang mangyari dyan, kung napakaraming scammers noon, mas dadami ito ngayon. Dahil unlike Lamia, na dadaan talaga sa review,
Yes.
no, nire-review yung Lamia to check
Application.
the capability, the of the employer.
dadami.
Ito ngayon, i-click na lang, mapiprint out na nila. So, napakadaling manloko. So, ito sa nakaraan, ang dami na ngang nanloko nung Lamia na dumadaan na sa review ng government office to check yung employer. Ito pa kaya na ipiprint out lang nila. So, we raised that to the minister that there is
Unauthorized.
proliferation of so many unscrupulous agencies na hindi na negosyo, panluloko na talaga. So, dadami at dadami yan ngayong new pilot program na to. Napakarami na namang maluloko nito. I'll guarantee na talagang maraming malipana namang maluloko. Right? So, tinanong natin siya na dito sa Canada, nagiging pugad ito ng mga manlulokong agencies.
Unauthorized
Diba?
consultants.
Yung mga walang lisensya na hindi member ng ICCRC
Yes.
is nakakagawa ng
Paraan.
paraan para sila kumita ng pera. So, ang nangyari dito is nagkaroon ng panibagong programang immigration na magkaroon ng grupo ng immigration consultant na involved na mismo ang immigration sa patakbo nitong
Policing and monitoring.
registration na ito.
Yeah.
So, nakamonitor na lahat. So, hindi na talaga pwede na magkaroon ng mga immigration consultant na hindi lisensyado. So,
Pati
yun ang
nga,
mangyayari.
Bro Cesar, yung mga lisensyado din, ang loko na.
Yes.
Oo, ang dami
Oo.
na loko. Mga lisensyado yung hinahabol natin sa TV natin.
Yung mga
Mga
naningil na
license
mga
yan.
$5,000, $6,000
Ang ginawa nila nga,
per application.
Yung mga modus operandi nito, pag mayroong Lamia, pagkatapos nagbigay ka na ng 6,000, pagbigay mo ng $6,000,
Ibigay sa iba yung
sabihin na nila na may problema, may aberya.
Oo.
Right?
Yung
So yung Lamia na inibibenta na naman nila.
Sa iba,
Right? Sa
yes.
iba. Sabi na naman, namatay.
Duplication of Lamia,
Oo,
tinatawag.
yeah.
Oo.
Yung recycling of Lamia,
Lamia.
to sell it again to another applicant.
So,
So,
yan, nabanggit nga niya yung mga ginagawa nilang monitoring sa mga unauthorized immigration consultant.
Okay.
At marami silang mga ginagawang hakbang. Tinaasa nila ang, what do you call that, yung parang bayad pagka nahuli sila. At saka yung College of Immigration,
College for Immigration Consultant.
for
Yeah,
immigration
establish nila
consultant,
next year. Yeah.
establish nila next year, and they are going to have more power to go after these immigration offices, immigration agencies.
So, I sinuggest ko po earlier, mga kaibigan, na pinakita po doon sa kay Minister Hussein na dito sa Canada, mayroong yung tinatawag kong black hole in the Canadian Immigration Enforcement System. Dahil ito pong nangyayari, kaya in-explain ko ito kay Minister Hussein kung bakit dumami yung mga manluloko. Kasi ganito pong nangyayari at gagawa po kami ng sulat to explain that properly sa Ministry of Immigration para talaga makita nila yung
Black hole.
ang black hole, yung kakulangan. Ganito kasi yan. Yung mga biktima po, usually, ang binibiktima, wala dito sa Canada. Nandun sa Pilipinas, sa Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Just like yung mga lumalapit sa atin. Ito yun, actual to eh. Actual experience ng TV natin. Dahil nga, tayo ang nilalapitan ng mga naluloko. So, ang nangyayari ngayon, yung mga nasa Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Philippines, nagbibigay ng pera nandito sa Canada. Right? So, let's make the story short. Naloko nga. Ang problema, tumulong tayo. Yung iba na lumapit sa atin dito sa TV natin at talagang sineryoso nating sinabihan ng mga agencies ay natakot, nagpa-refund at marami na tayong napa-refund. Pero yung iba, nagmamatigas. Okay. So dahil nagmamatigas at hindi naman tayo nagbibiro, nung sinabi nating hahabulin natin sila, ay talagang gumawa tayo ng grupo-grupong chat group sa iba-ibang agency at ang ginawa natin, iipon-ipon natin yung mga documents nila, no? And pinadala natin sa Canadian Border Security Agency, CBSA.
CBSA.
Ang sabi ng CBSA ngayon, that is not within our mandate. Patay. So, we went to the RCMP, no? Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Ang sabi naman nila, we are not an investigating body. Right? Okay. But nonetheless, sa RCMP po, mayroon po silang fraud hotline. So, binibigay namin yan doon sa aming Facebook account. Sa mismo Facebook account ko, pinopost ko yung hotline na mapapadala nyo yung mga complaint ninyo. But then, RCMP said they are not an investigating body. So, nag-aalangan, naghuhugas din ng kamay. Now, go to, they told us to go to the Toronto Police Service. Yung mga police na talaga, no? Now, pumunta tayo doon. Ito ang problema. Toronto Police Service, to be able to file a case against these, scammers and airing agencies, kailangan nandito yung complainant. Paano paano uusog yung kaso? Nandun sa Hong Kong nga, Pilipinas, Singapore. So you see? So may black hole na ngayon. So may kakulangan ngayon. So dahil diyan sa kakulangan na yan, nakikita ng mga agencies na wala tayong libre tayo dito. They thrive because of this lapses.
Yes.
So with all the advancement of Canada, with all its being a developed country, there is a black hole in the Canadian immigration system. So pinaintindi natin kay Amid Hussein. At sinabi natin doon na what we are suggesting is for the government of Canada to put a complaint desks doon sa mga consular office or embassies outside of Canada. Sa Taiwan, mayroong complaint desk for immigration. Sa Hong Kong, everywhere. So yung complaint desks na yon will entertain yung mga issues na mga ni-recruit na mga taga-Canada.
Yes.
Now, yung complaint na yon will be forwarded to an appropriate office here. Nakalimutan ko pa ngang sabihin sana na magkaroon ng interagency task force na mag-ipon-ipon itong mga agencies na mayroong kinalaman sa immigration. No? And then we suggested to Amid Hussein to review the limitations of the mandates of each agencies. May limitations sila. Sabi nila, limited yung mandate namin. So, because of that limitations, this criminality, these scams, thrive, dumadami.
Of course.
So ngayon, nasilip ng TV natin yan. So, we will present a proposal to the Canadian government. If it requires legislation, so be it. But if it requires only an executive action from the interagencies in the Department of Immigration, then that would be good. Ito po kasi sayan ito. It's TV natin that initiates that immigration enforcement reform. So tayo ang nag-initiate niyan. And we will push that. And you will see the difference later na magkaroon na ng isang mas malakas na task force na ay kasi sabi niya bibigyan pa ng mas malaking pondo ang CBSA,
Yes.
ang RCMP bigyan pondo. But look, mga kaibigan, kahit ilang bilyon ang ipondo mo dyan, kung yung mandate nga nila hindi kaya, dahil maghugas din naman kamay, kahit gaano kalaki yung perang pondo na sa kanila, wala din mangyayari. So the defect is on the system. The defect is on the mandate. The defect is on the absence of a more efficient mechanism or rules or body to run after these agents, notwithstanding the fact na yung mga victims ay wala dito.
Yes.
Dapat, right?
Tama yun. Kasi karamihan nga ng nagiging biktima po ay talagang nasa labas ng bansa. Dahil alam po ng mga agency at ganun din po kami, alam namin na ganun ang nangyayari dahil wala nga pong nagre-reklamo dahil wala sila dito sa Canada. Kaya nga po yung TV natin na natutuwa po kami na kami nakakatulong dahil nakapag-refund na po kami sa ibang sa mga ibang loko po, nakapagpa-refund na po kami sa ibang mga agency. At yan po ang aming ginagawa. Libreng serbisyo po yan sa inyo. Ngayon, ang hinihiling na lang po namin, lalo sa mga caregivers na nandito, suportahan lang po ninyo kami sa aming ipinaglalaban. Dahil hindi po namin kaya kung kami lang.
Hindi po tong TV natin, hindi po ito entertainment, hindi po ito tambayan. Yung mga Facebook natin, hindi po tambayan ng mga sasayaw-sayaw dyan. At, seryoso po, this is hardcore public service. So we serve the OFW at the utmost with capability that we have. And pinanindigan namin yan. At alam namin ang ginagawa namin. Kaya nga yung mga agencies, Bro Cesar, wala ka dito the past weeks or months, talagang natakot yung mga agencies dahil alam nila na alam nating paano sila habulin.
Hindi tayo nagbibiro.
Hindi tayo nagbibiro. At because of that, ang dami na yung mga siguro aabot na ng mga $50,000 yung mga nasa pauli natin. Aba, may nag-abot ng pera sa atin last episode, direct. Si Direct abot ng pera, direct, no? May nag-abot ng pera, tinagihan natin. Yeah? At sabi niya, ito po, no, hindi po kami nagpapabayad mga kaibigan. Although, tita niyo, pinagtagpi-tagpi itong mga gamit namin, mga mukha namin ay blurred dahil yung mga camera namin ay makaluma. Pero, hindi po kami
defense lang
hindi po kami natitempt sa pera.
Servisyo
Pangit na
lang
nga
po.
kami, kuhay. Pero, nandyan pa rin kayo dahil alam namin hindi naman mga mukha namin ang tinitignan ninyo.
Serbisyo po talaga
Yun
tayo.
po naman ang ating serbisyo. So, by the way, kung sino po yung mga kaibigan natin dyan na gusto magpa-advertise sa atin, no? Diyan lang po kami, mga kahingi ng tulong sa inyo at sa bagay ay marami namang tumatangkilik sa atin at yung mga produkto ninyo siguro hindi rin mapapahiya dito.
Yes.
Dahil yung aming mga tagapagpatangkilik talagang sumusuporta din sa ating mga panawagan.
Yes.
So ano pa yung mga napag-usapan natin doon kanina? Medyo madami-dami din. Oh, by the way, masyadong limited ang oras.
Masyadong
ano?
limited. Hindi nga ako nagkaroon ng chance na magtanong kung ano yung mga dapat itanong ng mga mahalagang bagay para kailangang iparating sa ating minister. Talagang kapos po kami sa oras. Talagang ang nangyari po dito yung oras namin, hindi namin maalam kung paano namin maidudulog lahat yung mga problema natin.
But
So
anyway,
kapos po talaga.
Ganun pa man, nagpapasalamat po kami dahil napagbigyan po kami sa interview na yon. At alam po namin, bukas makalawa, maulit pa po yun.
We will continue to be a partner of the government of Canada and the immigration Ministry of Immigration to continue to promote the positive programs that they are doing for our for the immigration community, and kung ano man din yung mga kakulangan at mga nakikita nating mga kamalian o kakulangan o mga lapses na hindi nila nakita, ang TV natin at ang Care for Caregivers Canada at pati yung Canadian Lost Bismin Alliance Incorporated, yung
At iba pa pong
yung
organisasyon.
Philippine
Canadian
Guardians Brotherhood Incorporated Scarborough Chapter. Kumusta po kayo dyan? Itong mga iba pang mga organisasyon na kasama natin, nakikipag-collaborate tayo para mas lalong mapalakas yung ating puwersa para isulong yung welfare ng ating mga kababayang OFW. Right? Yeah. So, marami pong episode na gagawin tayo in the next succeeding weeks. Antabay po palagi tayo. Mayroon pa ba tayong nakalimutan sa mga do you still remember something na pinag-usapan natin kanina?
Napakaraming napag-usapan pero napakarami ring tanong na hindi na itanong.
Marami po kami hindi na itanong talaga sa aming listahan at siguro meron pang mga pagkakataon. Ang usapan namin dito is siguro magkakaroon kami ng request sa opisina ni Minister
Hussein,
na siguro is sana po is paunlakan tayo.
Always said.
Napakadami po namin talagang dapat itanong sa opisina.
Yeah. We can do that every time we want to. Okay, so yun na po. Hanggang sa susunod po nating pagsama-sama sa susunod nating mga episode dito sa TV natin Canada. sama-sama ulit tayo mga kababayan. Ikaw muna, Bro Cesar, paalam tayo. Sa ating mga-
Maraming salamat po muli sa inyong pagsubaybay at panonood. Sana po tangkilikin yung mabuti ang aming TV Canada. At dito po is seryoso po tayo. At talaga pong ang kailangan po namin is ang inyong suporta.
So, wag pong kalimutan, TV Natin Canada. Please watch, like, share, and subscribe po
Yes.
lahat ng ating mga episode para po mapagpatuloy po nating maipakita sa ating mga kababayan ang ating suportang ginagawa at serbisyong libre para sa ating mga kababayan.
Okay.
Maraming salamat po.
Okay.